Hello, and this video is about training of rotational throwers. Rotational throwers means discus throw and shot putters using discus style of this is called Discoput, and hammer throw involving swings and rotations and release. So, whereas shot put it is an iron ball of 16 lbs. Discus is a disc with a weight of 2 kgs. So depends upon the size of the equipment and depends upon the shape of the equipment, and we will have to design the pattern of movement in the upper body. That's the only difference between Discoput and discus throw. Like in the discus throw, even you keep the disc away from the body by swinging, and shot put means you keep it closer to the neck, in between the chin and the neck, with a little above. Other style of glide, you will be holding it much closer with your neck and chin. This means it's more towards a little shoulder. So the physical size of a shot putter or a discus thrower, you see, the tallest and the heaviest of the athletes which you see in an Olympic or world competition is the discus throwers. 6 feet 7 inches, 6 feet 8 inches, 6 feet 9 inches, and around 125 kilos, 130 kilos. Like the shot putters also much above 6 feet 3 inches, 4 inches, and like weight maybe little smaller than the discus throwing. If you see the discus throwing, only the huge tall and huge men, you can always see that. This is how it goes because of the type of event. Top class competitions involving say top class qualities, and force is equal to a mass into acceleration. You want to project a 16 lbs iron ball or a brass ball over a period over a distance of 22 plus meters of world class standard. They have crossed 23 meters also. So you need to have to generate a force unless you weigh 110 kilos or 115 kilos, and you release at a height of somewhere around 6 feet or so, you cannot reach that distance. So while the competition is so keen, you will see that from the very early stages. You have a discus and shot put, and you have to choose the tallest, heaviest, and the fastest. Fastest in the aspect of spinning speed. The test which you can make is, of course, heaviest and the tallest you can always measure. Fastest you can always measure. You are making them to do some 30 meters or even 25 meters, 30 meters distance. Spin test you can make them to go run with the 3 rotations, doing the running process, backward running, sideward running, and these can be summed up and do a coach-made test specific to the situation and specific to the athlete. And I believe I have written a book on this shot put technique and training. I have given all the copies to my students, and one of my student who is in Dubai now is working as a physical director there in a Dubai school, and he has worked with me as a model for the event. He was from Kerala, and he was a national class thrower during his junior days, Shelton de Costa, and I made it nicely, but now I don't have a copy with me. Now I am a retired man and spending time at home. I think I can collect from our library from Annamala University, and that was an exhaustive work on shot putting and shot putting training and technique. So coming back to the event, coming to the rotational style of shot putting, you need to be tall, you need to be fast, you need to be have a tremendous speed in your spin, and you have to have balance. You got to have good rhythm, and you should be able to balance well after the release, and be stable after the release, and so these are the factors. So you have to be fast, you have to be quick in your rotation, and you will have to send the iron ball, and you will have to balance also. And it's all sometimes contrasting qualities, and sometimes are required to. So the rotation in shot putting is an output of an athlete's or a shot putter's capacity to do sideward running, backward running, and rotational running in a short 10 to 15 meters distance, and the capacity to balance with one leg, capacity to do the turning with a little heavy weight on the shoulders or a weight jacket, and capacity to do a vertical jump and turn, spin twice in the air, 2 rotations in the air, and land at least 1.5 or 1 rotation. These are the basic qualities you should have to look in for a shot putter. Like you may be very tall and heavy, but you do not have balance, you do not have reaction time with the ground, and you are of no use. A shorter, smaller fellow will easily outwit him, and you will outsmart him by this quality. So, his capacity to take off from the ground and perform 1 or 1.5 or 2 rotations in the air and land steadily in the ground is a basic quality required for us. Some boys, girls have this quality. Maybe because of the early training, some girls train in their dancing programs, some boys train in their martial arts, and from the very early stage, some are good at legs with the type of games which they play from the early stages, like from the childhood, and some have their inherited quality also. So, so the mechanical aspects of shot putting is common for all. Again, the same. Velocity at release, angle of release, height of release. These are the 3 parameters. So velocity you will have to generate over a period of, over a distance of 7 feet. 7 feet you will have to generate that by spinning the body for rotational throws. With a glide means you will have to glide backward and turn. So that's the rare combination of qualities required from your legs upward, ankle joints, knee joints, hip joints, shoulder joints, so torso, neck, all these aspects should be well trained, fully flexible, supple, should work like a well-oiled machine, so that easily you can perform the task. And the iron ball, it's easy to apply force. You can grip an object well. If the iron ball is designed with a grip like a kettlebell, I think you can throw much longer distance, But this is, this ball should be balanced in such a way so that you apply the force through the center of gravity of the ball to that particular angle of push, right? So there is little deviation will create rotational effect, and little rotational effect will hamper the distance. So now the technology is so advanced in videographing and so still photography, as well as stopping the video and see, and you can use the latest technologies in biomechanics to see how the force is applied and how quick he is reacting using a force platform, or thrusting the shot in such a way. And there are also you can do it with overload principles involving heavier shot, little more voluminous shot, bigger one, smaller one, and by creating friction between shot and some kind of resin or powder can be used, friction between your arms and your palms and the shot, so that you get better friction, and so that the accurate push will be getting. So the rotational velocity of the shot is an outproduct of capacity of an individual's forward running, backward running, sideward running, backward running and sideward running, forward running and rotation, backward running and rotation on both the directions, clockwise and anti-clockwise, is the basic quality required for a rotational shot putter or a discus thrower. Then you will have to go specific with the event, specific with the iron ball, and you will have to do part of turnings, and full turnings, 1/3 and 2/3 and 3/4, then full turnings like this, go, and standing throws. Slowly you develop qualities in a shot putter by multiple process of multiple throws involving sometimes kettlebells, sometimes medicine balls, sometimes with a lighter weight shot, sometimes with a heavier weight shot, sometimes with a larger size shot, smaller size shot, so that your body adapts to, for example, overhead, two-arm overhead throws, two-arm push with the putting style, and upward throws, right, over the shoulders throws, over the shoulders and other throws, then backward throws, back, throwing in between legs backward. So like multiple throws, basic as well as advanced, in specific to the requirement, and sometimes braced up throws, stop and using the further increase the, and you will have to sometimes design equipments in such a way you have to apply, you can apply force in an actual release position or in the turning position involving multi-trainer equipment are there. We can design such equipment. We had a few, and I was in charge of our fitness center for 17 years in our university. We have designed some equipment there. So it's possible. I'm sure in developed nations throwing system have their equipments which they don't reveal it to you just like that. You have to develop your own thing and use it for your athlete. It will be cheaper and more efficient, specific to height adjusted things. So the basic training for these two rotational quality related discus and shot put are same. Whereas disc involves you have to acquaint the disc with so many using the tossing, using the rotation, using vertical toss, using the toss, and so you have, the discus should become very friendly with you with your arms, and so that discus becomes a part of your body. You rotate freely, I still throw veteran level, and now I am not in a mood. I have a discus also here. So sometime another video will open air we go, and I can give you a demo too. So it's an interesting event. You see a throw and go beyond 50 meters. You really have you enjoy it goes right. So it's highly advanced mechanical principles are involved in it. The gyration, spin, the angle of attack, the angle of incidence, the aerodynamic factors of drag and lift also involved in it. So naturally, the progressive velocity of the thrower, the mobile trunk of the thrower. Mobile trunk means the trunk should be very supple, and you should not waste any time in landing with your right leg in the center of the circle. And there are also quality required is speed and speed across 8 feet 2.5 inches, 2.5 meters dia, and then balancing it after the release. So it's all contrasting qualities required. So balance can be trained by using one leg balancing, and we have very good balancing exercises that are there in the yoga program, in which we Indians are very famous for it. Sometimes we can induct certain movements there for increasing balance in shot putting as well as discus throwing. Balance is connected with your brain and eustachian canals and your alignment of the body, and which definitely can be developed, and I personally have experienced. I'm able to balance, gain better balance by doing certain yogic poses. So rotational throwers performance in India is not up to a very excellent level, and especially southern part of India we do not have much throwers, and I cannot say why it is, and we need to have a very sound coaching education program in this, and we need to have a much broader basing of the sport at all levels. It all involves just an iron ball and a brass ball and a discus, not very expensive at all. You can go to a riverside and throw anywhere, open space you can throw. All that is the fundamentals, make it as a part of village sports and can improve. Too many good athletes give you better performance.